Well, a very good morning to you watching. Today is Tuesday and we're in the second day of the week and of course the 14th of November 2023. Well, my name is Masa Kansime and welcome to Smart Men's Business, here your daily kickstarter every morning from 7 a.m. till 9:55 a.m. And I'm here driving you every information that you need in regards to business. I got you. So we're here in Smart 24 TV where we drive your business. 24/7, we're always here to give you information regarding business. And of course, it's just 1 minute past 7 a.m. I believe that you already started planning on how your day is going to run. But for us here, we've already kick-started that day, and we are hoping the program is going to go well because we have interesting topics for you today. I have an interesting topic for those that are into real estate. Yeah, we are understanding that we are gauging the real estate market in Africa. Well, of course, when it comes to real estate, I believe there are few individuals actually who are really invested in real estate. If you're to take a view of the last 10 years, really, I think in Uganda, the real estates, I know there are very few. If you talk of real estate, the villages that we have, there are very few. But anyway, we're going to be analyzing the balance between demand, the supply of housing, and of course, then commercial properties. We see the demand actually in Uganda is really massive. Yeah, people are really in need of housing. They're in need of places to be at. So definitely we're going to be focusing mainly on Uganda. Well, of course, when it comes to the demand of housing, it's driven by a number of factors. Well, of course, the growing population. Yeah, the growing population also has led to the demand of housing. And of course, there is need for more housing units. And of course, if you look back, actually this year, they were proposing that there's going to be a shift of events, from the housing that we are used to the urban housing where, you can buy a unit and maybe pay mortgage with time. Just a fee of 250,000, 222,000. I don't know how big those rooms are going to be, but then they're trying to shift the organization of the city, Let a city be a city, okay? Let it not be have households and then others are kids. No. So they want to be demolishing every single bit of housing improper. There has to be proper planning. But my question goes to those people that are staying in those affected areas. People find what is it called? Actually do find comfortability living where they are. Mostly, if you took, say, those that stay in the slum areas, like most people say, those places, because they're affordable. Yeah, they're affordable. Someone is staying in a small squeezed house of 20,000 per month, and they're really comfortable. Do you think there's no latrine or toilet? There's no bathroom? Really, I believe there is need for yeah, and the fact that we do not have minimum wage is going to be difficult. Yeah. So also other factors that have led to demand of housing is, of course, the economic conditions. When the economy is strong, people are earning more money, they're likely to buy homes. Yeah, and of course, we have a huge gap. The poor are extremely poor and the rich are extremely rich. So there is no middle class actually. If you're to look in Africa, the middle class is a little bit it's a little percentage. So the rich are the ones that really do buy, these properties. The real estate, that's the investment in. Well, of course, like they said, when the economic situation is okay in the country, people are buying more houses. Yeah, they are buying. There's a time actually people were really embracing buying houses. Like you buy a finished house and that's it. You buy it at 200 million and there's no need for going for construction and all that. And of course, interest rates. Yeah, of course, when the interest rates are low, people are actually more likely to afford to buy a house. Yeah, now the interest rate in Uganda is at 10%. definitely not so bad. Yeah, not so bad. Well, of course, also all government policies that demand in whatever economy that you in. Tax breaks for the first-time home buyers can also boost demand for housing. Well, of course, that is it for the demand. And of course, when it comes to supply, the supplying of houses, it's also under a few factors. And of course, some of the factors are the number of housing units that are currently available for purchase and rent. That is also one of the factors that can lead to the supply of housing. Yeah, if there are available units. Yeah, if maybe it's a real estate and it's a village, and then maybe there are 1,000 units, you can be able to supply, yeah? Can be able to supply and have a household for yourself. Yeah, of course, the cost of building new housing units, yeah, it also, actually, I think one of the reasons as to why most Ugandans are opting to buy finished houses is because probably they feel like construction is so expensive, everything is expensive. From the foundation, the bricks, everything, the cement is insanely expensive. So the cost also matters at the end of the day. If I am supplying some households, yeah, I'm going to consider the fact that it was costly for me, and maybe the amount will increase. You know, if I built it at 100 million, I expect to get 200 million out of it, a profit of 100 million. Yeah, so definitely. Of course, the availability of land for development, yes. If there is also availability of land for development, that is also, it also helps in actually making sure that there is a bit of understanding, so that you can put up a setting for yourself or a building or real estates. And of course, government regulations such as zoning laws and environmental regulations, those that are building into the swamps, we are actually calling for a greener economy, and have over time actually discouraged people from building wetlands, swampy areas, because most cases, much as we build, there are natural calamities that do happen. Imagine it flooded, and of course, when the flood, if you were on a wetland or swampy area next to it, trust me, your house is gonna be in swimming in water at the end of the day. So please make sure, if the guidelines, the government policies are really favorable, that means also the supply of houses is gonna be available. And of course, here, when it comes to demand for commercial property, we see that also one of the factors that lead to the demand for commercial properties, that is for sale. Also economic growth, yeah. When the economy is strong, businesses are more likely to expand and open new locations, yeah. If now you see, like those days, I want to give an example. Those days, Gayaza was like, oh, Gayaza is so far. Oh my goodness, I can't go to Gayaza. But do you know the number of people that head to Gayaza? So anytime soon, I believe Gayaza is going to be a big commercial place, and of course, to do a business, but that is where most households are. And people are like, you know what, let me go and open up a shop, even in Entebbe. Yeah, it's also the same. Yeah, given the fact that it may be a little bit far, but arcades have come up, huge supermarkets have come up, so definitely there is a lot going on. If there is economic growth in an area, location is also a factor that can lead people. Of course, changes in consumer behavior, such as the rise in online shopping, can also lead to changes in demand for commercial properties. Oh, by the way, you've seen cases, if you want to shift, maybe you've been staying in Wandegea and you want to go to Chisasi, you can go to the internet and search, and they're going to be available properties for you, or maybe rentals or something for you to look out for. Trust me, and at an affordable price. And an affordable price is take pictures, you can look at the house. If you appreciate it, you can also go for it. Of course, People are embracing online, online shopping. I can go, I get a book a house online, and I go and then, enter into the house instead of, going all the way. I get a broker, and they take you through the whole village when you cannot get a proper house. And of course, it also involves brokers as well. But of course, it's really good. And of course, also government policies such as tax incentives for businesses to relocate to certain areas can also boost demand for commercial properties. Well, those are some of the factors that lead to demand for commercial properties. And of course, when it comes to supply of commercial properties, of course, it's determined by some factors as well. Of course, one of them being the number of commercial properties that are currently available to purchase or lease. Yeah, that could also be one of the factors. Yeah, and of course, the cost of building new commercial properties. Yeah, commercial properties, and of course availability of land for development, of course regulations by government. Well, of course, when it comes to balancing between demand and supply, we see that a healthy balance between the supply is important. Demand is important for both housing and commercial property markets. When the demand is greater than the supply, prices tend to rise. Yeah, so the demand, people want to move. Actually, for the first months of the year, there is always demand. Yeah, because people are shifting, they're relocating from one area to the other, because there's always demand, and the price is a little bit high. Yeah, much as the January is not usually a favorable month for most people financially. It's financially tight. Well, of course, at the current state of housing and commercial property markets varies depending on the location. In some areas, such as major metropolitan areas, there is high demand for housing and commercial properties, and of course, prices are rising. Yeah, metropolitan areas, that is where most people would want to be. They want to be like close to the city center compared to when you put it in the rural areas. It's demand is not that much, actually. If you were to, I want to take an example. If you take if you have rentals and probably maybe you have set up an arcade, the demand is not that much. I've seen it in my home area. You find an arcade has a few offices, maybe units that are not filled up because there's no demand. People are comfortable where they are. Probably the cost is a little bit high for them. So definitely, that is why if you want to set up a commercial property business, you have to set it up in the metropolitan area, in the town, in the centers, the places don't call centers, really. Now, in other areas, such as rural areas, there is lower demand, yes, like I say, for housing and commercial properties, and the prices are falling. When, of course, government, when it comes to that, and of course, like I had shared earlier on, there has to be a balance between the supply and demand. Yeah, if there is demand, then the supply is gonna be there, and of course, at the end of the day, the prices are gonna increase. But then, if you go to areas where the demand is a bit low, you're gonna be in for it. You're gonna lose out more than you invested in. So, one of the government policies that could actually promote the balance between the supply and demand for housing could be tax breaks, like I said, for developers who build affordable housing and commercial space. Yeah, for affordable housing in Uganda, when you look at the price for affordable housing in Uganda, you'll be really shocked. Affordable housing goes to 600,000. 600,000. Imagine an everyday person who earns 50,000 a day. Will they be able to, afford to rent? Yeah, will they be able to afford to rent? And of course, people that are carrying out businesses, these huge kids, every month you're required to pay a million shillings, and at the end of the month you got like maybe 5 customers. So those are one of the things that really hinder people from actually investing in real estate. Well, of course, government should subsidize the first-time home buyers and low-income renters. Yes, I believe that is really key. That is really key if we're going for urban housing. My goodness, low-income renters are going to be affected. I can't be taking home 200,000 and expect to be in a house where I rent at 300,000. It's psychologically, it's traumatizing. Yeah, I can't be paying more rent than I earn. So definitely that is one of the government policies that they could be implemented so that there could be a balance in the housing and commercial property markets. Well, that is it for the morning call, but right about now we're going to get to see what is happening into the press. Yesterday was Monday, the first day of the week, and of course it's usually a busy day for the executive, or the lawmakers, and everybody as well. Well, of course, I have the new vision, and of course, making headlines in the new vision. Somalis plead over UPDF withdrawal, and of course, that is what is in the new vision. And of course, URA recovers 256 billion shillings through tax penalties. Yeah, the Uganda Revenue Authority has recovered tax revenue amounting to 256 billion from undeclared income by people who transact business. Wow! Yeah, finally they have them. They have them. People have been dodging taxes, actually. People in Uganda do find a way of dodging taxes. Oh my goodness. And of course, but do not honor their tax obligations. Yeah. And of course, here on the oil supply, second fuel carrier ship launched. That is it for the new vision. So you could, and of course, Museveni woos Abu Dhabi investors. Yeah. For you to woo, you have to have a good tongue, actually. Convincing tongue. You know, and of course, we see here in the Daily Monitor a smooth start for senior 6 students. You know, they started off yesterday on the 13th of November, and of course, we see savers fake death to get NSSF money. The National Social Security Fund says their investigations have revealed that some members who are still alive have reportedly been recorded as dead on the National Identification and Registration Authority database. So people are faking death to get NSSF money. What a way of... That's a smart move, but I don't really encourage it. What if you're caught? And of course, suspect in Queen Elizabeth Park shooting charged in court. And of course, in Senene, should we count losses or keep hope alive? Well, they could actually do appear towards the end of the month. So why not be hopeful that anything could happen? And of course, traders, consumers all set, but no Senene yet. Wow. For those that are seasonal traders, those that are seasonal business people, and you've been targeting this season of Senene, I think you've been disappointed. Probably give it a week. Yeah, they may actually do tend to appear. And of course, government primary school up for sale over loan. Yeah, that is what is happening in the education system. Loans are becoming loans, and of course, since the COVID-19, some schools have not yet recovered from the loans that they got. Well, of course, 5 new cities remain in limbo. That is according to the Ministry of Local Government. Well, the local government minister, Raphael Majezi, said that the fate of 5 new cities remains unclear after court decision delivered 3 years ago nullified their creation. Well, of course, even Kabale, actually, they had protests over this whole situation of them being given a status of being a city. But of course, there are different criteria that they follow. Infrastructure, proper planning, proper housing planning. So yeah, for you to get that title of a city, you have to really be in good position to be able to make sure that you meet the requirements. Well, of course, UBOS completes mapping of villages ahead census. Well, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics yesterday said it is on the track to carry out the National Population and Housing Census 2024 with 87% of the mapping areas, those are villages, so far completed. So get ready for your heads to be counted come 2024 next year, God being, you being able to be, alive. Now, of course, UMA's new leaders to send doctors to work in Rwanda. Well, the newly elected president of the Uganda Medical Association, of course, has said sending junior doctors to work in Rwanda as one of the strategies they have adopted to address unemployment, and get good pay for all their professionals. Quite a good move. I really agree with it. Well, of course, we are into the traffic updates, and of course, we are along Wandegea. Yeah, as you can see, actually coming in, I come from that side. There was a bit of traffic, but mostly for those that come in from Wandegea, those that are coming from Nankulawe, those that are coming in from Sao Paulo Road. There's always a little bit of traffic, but it's good that there is order when there are traffic police officers. Of course, those that use the Tondeka buses, they're always available on the move for you there. Kayola buses, Tondeka buses, for everyone. I hear they're quite affordable, actually. So if you're heading to Nakasero, if you're heading to the city center, now right about now, those that are coming in from Wandegea, those that are coming in from Makerere side, the lights have allowed them to actually have access to the road. Of course, that is it. It's quite a residential area that side, so that is why there is a little traffic in there. And of course, even right there, the Makerere lights, you can see the main gate lights. They're also still, and of course, they're now in motion. Yeah, so not to worry. So you could actually be making your way whichever destination you're in. Even those that are going into Mulago, those that are going into Garden City, maybe you're going going to Waise. Yeah, there is also access there. And of course, if you take the left, if you take the right, actually, there is the Bombo Road. Bombo Road also is that side. Yeah, so definitely also expecting some tightness, as the ones that coming in from Sao Paulo Road, Nankulawe, been, allowed access on the road. Yeah, so definitely that is it for you there. You can see traffic that have been halted a little bit, those that are coming in from the citizen and other areas of town. Yeah, those buses actually have their parking that side of town and different parks. Yeah, and of course, probably they have started their move, so that is it. Traffic is stable. There's no collision, there is no disorganization because there is a traffic officer, and of course people have to obey the traffic lights as well. Okay, it's a little bit, I would, of course, look at the disorganization that is always there, actually, with border riders. It's always a collision for them, really. They can't tell which people they have set. Once they hear the whistle, it's like they've set them off. So there's a little bit of actually commotion, actually, along that road. I've been there. Yeah, you can actually, if you're not keen enough, you can actually collide with a border or a vehicle that is coming in from another direction. Of course, those are cars that are coming in from Bombo Road. Yeah, Makere, Kavule, all that side. Yeah. So you can see that they were halted actually for like 3 to 4 minutes, but now they've been given access to move on the road. And now those that are coming in from Mulago or that side, Garden City, probably Ginger Road, using that route, you can actually maybe Kololo, you could actually see that have also been halted for a bit. And of course, you see, people are taking initiative to actually use their bicycles, which is really good, instead of, you know, cutting on expenses on the road with transport and all that. So, you know, you could decide to use a bicycle. I've seen so far 5 people using bicycles. Yeah, so it's really, this is the 6th one. Really good. I believe there should be a lane for cyclists, yeah, because anytime here, any collision could happen and you could actually be a victim. Well, we're 26 minutes past 7 a.m. and of course that is the traffic update happening along Wandagea traffic lights. And of course, we are going to go for a short commercial break, but coming up, we're going to be taking you through East Africa and international business news. Please take a cup of tea, you know, warm yourself up so that you can start your day. This is Smart Men's Business.